Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the first episode of KAMEHAME-NOW. Today we'll be discussing part 1 of Team Universe 7, Vic. Let's break it down, man. Let's talk about it. I know this is a big saga that's happening right now, what they call the quote-unquote the Tournament of Power, but I think they should call it really the Battle of Power, don't you think? Like, it's not really, from what it seems like, it doesn't really look like it's a tournament. It looks more like it's a battle of free-for-all.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not a tournament. I mean, a tournament at the end of the day is exactly that. It's when you fight one person or even multiple people and you progress to the next people and you keep going until there's a winner. But if everybody's going to be going at the same time, that's not a tournament. That's a fucking Royal Rumble. And it's every man for themselves. Well, except, it's going to be universe against universe, every universe for themselves. So it could literally be like two universes ganging up on one, which doesn't really prove who's a stronger universe. It goes back to that,
Right. From right now, the day that we're recording this, we're on episode 96, and they already showed the preview to the next episode, which would be 97, and it pretty much is a free-for-all. But with that being said, we wanted to discuss the team members of Universe 7. And in part 1, we're going to start off with Goku and Vegeta. And the reason why we're starting off with both of them at the same time is it's a given. Like, there's a reason why these guys are on the team. There's really not much to be said, right, Vic? I mean, these are the gods. These are your all-star players. These are your MVP players, or supposedly these should be your MVP players.
That's common sense why they're there. It's pretty much everybody else is could be debatable, and some of them, in my opinion, are common sense as well.
We move on to Gohan. Gohan was chosen obviously because he has that Super Saiyan in him. He's got that potential to be one of the strongest. I mean, that's always been something that throughout his youth, through his being a kid to being a teenager, like, he was the guy. He was the next guy. Unfortunately, because of circumstances of his mother teaching him to be a student more and less of his martial arts or his training, he kind of fell off. But he's got that he's got that 1 hour training with Piccolo. I guess did they ever discuss how long he trained with Piccolo?
Well, they only have they only had like 48 hours before the next, when the tournament's going to begin. But even that, they didn't really train that long. In all reality, he doesn't really need that much training. What I would just explain, I would explain it more instead of saying he's training, because he really didn't train him. He was sparring with him. That was a sparring session, which is technically is training too, though.
Yeah.
Goku came to Piccolo and saying, okay, what's going to be happening? Gohan's definitely on the team regardless of his level now, but we definitely need him back to the level when he fought Boo. And he says, we could definitely trigger that because he has that potential of regaining that power. We just has to unlock it, So I do like the whole Ultimate Gohan thing, because that's definitely one way of leveling him up. Everybody wanted to see him go God, train with Whis and stuff. I didn't want to see that. Ultimate Gohan was a badass character. Mind you, he was beating the shit out of Boo, who is a Super Saiyan level 3 type of character. And he was also still handling him when he was merged with Piccolo and Gotenks, who were Super Saiyan level 3s, and he was still holding his own. Only thing that he lost was his guard. But that just shows you how powerful he is. And the fact that you saw him fighting a Super Saiyan God in Goku and actually holding his own, that shows you how powerful Ultimate Gohan was. And the fact that people believe that Beerus, when he fought Gohan like that, no, I don't believe he did. I just think Gohan just didn't go Super Saiyan at all, and that's why he handled him the way he did. But this just I like that progression with him, and I felt like that was the way of progressing that character to make him a factor in this tournament. I like that.
So yeah, and we've mentioned now Piccolo. So Piccolo was his sparring partner, like you said. What we got for him?
Well, with him, he was another obvious choice because he's so damn powerful. Mind you, at the end of the Cell games and stuff, he was a character that was on par with, like, I say, Semi-Perfect Cell, maybe a little bit more powerful than Semi-Perfect Cell. So once you fast tracked it to the future during the Boo, he was about as powerful as Perfect Cell, just about. Before the second time he fought Gohan. And I would say after all those years after, I would say he was definitely on a Super Saiyan level 2 power. So when it comes to his power, that right there in itself is just, it should be more than enough to handle himself in the tournament. But if there was like another thing I was going to kind of do to level him up, and stuff as Sherman power, because I felt like they did level him up even more so to be able to fight an Ultimate Gohan. And it just like the explanation was, we're just gonna make him that strong to match him. I don't like that. If you're gonna do that, do a progression. He had more time left in the Spirit and the Temple of Time. Utilize that.
Yeah, they don't utilize it. They got it. Only Vegeta's utilizing it this whole time. I wish that they would put more people in the Temple of Time.
Well, there's like, what I wouldn't have done is do like everybody in there. I would have just done certain people. Like, you could have said that I wouldn't have done them at this point to do that. I would have actually did it after for in that tournament, Universe 6 versus Universe 7, where he's like, okay, I know about this tournament coming up. I need to get stronger. So he had put the time in prior, and that was an explanation. Like, well, I already maxed out the time on that, and I would have made it also a maxed out time. I don't like the fact you just kind of just go in whenever you like. Right. I don't like that. But I would have said he maxed out the time. And on top of that, what I would have did was, because people wanted to see, like, oh, what about the Namekians? They have people on that planet. They could be strong enough. Why don't people recruit from them? Goes back to Frieza saga. And like I said, Frieza kind of ruined everything when it comes to everybody else in the universe, because he kind of showed everybody in the universe that they weren't shit. Mind you, the most powerful Namekian was Nail, who merged with Piccolo, mind you. And his power level was only about 45,000, compared to Frieza on base level was 530,000. You know, and not to mention when he goes to fucking his second form, he's in the millions, you know, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, the character was just way overpowered. So those guys would never be a factor. But let's just say one of them did decide, okay, after that whole experience with Frieza, but they were going to step it up and stuff in the event this ever happened again. And they like really pulled all their resources into one of the most powerful Namekians that survived. And they trained him from that point on. Let's just say he got to a certain level. Let's just say he got to maybe like a Frieza base level. That's as far as I would have like actually made him as powerful. They could have had it where he was kind of like a clone of what Piccolo was and stuff. Where now this character can't be a factor in the actual tournament, but what he could do is merge with Piccolo. Because mind you, that's the ability Piccolo has that's unique to him that gets him more powerful. Is his merging techniques. Now I wouldn't have it every Namekian can merge, because that's just bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's the case, then why didn't do a Frieza? But what I would have had it was where they were, they made a wish and they made another version of Piccolo to be on that in that world, or Kami, and that character had the potential to get very powerful. He got real strong, and then in the future, boom, they I mean, Goku teleports to Namek. He teleports him back to Earth. He merges with Piccolo, and now you get like a fucking crazy version of Piccolo. You know, and like where he's like Super Saiyan level 3, maybe even like, God level or something like that. You know, that's what I would.
That'd be cool. That would be,
or just make him as powerful as they got him right now. Like after he merged, he could be as powerful as he is now, and that's more of a validation of like how strong he should be, instead of just saying he is.
And that'd be a cool way to kind of go back to the use of Dragon Balls for a reason other than what it seems like right now, just kind of bringing people back to life.
Yeah, mind you, they have Dragon Balls too. Is like, why are they waiting to just use Earth ones when Planet Namek owes them favors? You know?
Yeah.
So that's what I would do.
Yeah, I think that's cool. I think that would be cool if they did it that way. And you're right. Yeah, that would be a cool way to introduce or to kind of explain why he's the power level that he's at now. After Piccolo, we can go into the androids. Why don't we start with Android 17?
Everybody thought his reason being on team was interesting. No one really like disputed it too much. I really didn't either, because it does make sense. Because mind you, there's no one in the universe you're gonna find stronger than with people on Earth.
Right.
And he was more powerful than Frieza. Frieza set the standard. You have to be stronger than Frieza to be a factor in that universe. And Android 17 was stronger than that version of Frieza. Now, as powerful as he is now, I can't validate that. There's really no validating that. I mean, the motherfucker's on God level, and they say because he's trained and shit. How does a guy who's never really trained before, and he was just like strong as he was, based off of the fact he was given power to get to that level?
Right.
You know. Then meanwhile, it's like, well, Boo and all this other shit happened. Like, he could have stopped that. Technically, Beerus would have got there, and he would have had problems with him just alone. You know?
Right. Yeah, that's
he
true.
didn't have to wait to a Super Saiyan God. Because technically, this dude was stronger than a Super Saiyan Red Goku, you know, because he was on par with Super Saiyan Blue Goku. So I don't like that. But there's a way to explain him getting stronger. Not to that level, but there's a way to explain how he got stronger. And GT kind of already explained it. That he had this battery within him that had the potential of getting stronger. So they just go ahead and unlock
it. Yeah.
And he ends up maxing out.
Which is funny because I thought that's what they were gonna do. I was like, I think they're gonna do something like that, and they kind of just skipped over that. They just said he was maxed out already.
Yeah, which is stupid because they trashed GT saying, they weren't original and they had stupid thoughts and whatnot. But meanwhile, there's the explanation why he got stronger was stupider. And I actually liked the GT's version of how he got stronger. Is that he had that battery. They unlocked him. I mean, mind you, he has unlimited power.
Mm-hmm.
His stamina and his strength never weighs. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just infinite. So what if you did unlock that and stuff? Wouldn't it give him more power? Let's just say that, okay, now he's not going to have unlimited power no more. We're just going to go and unlock it now. And this power will be it will last and sustain him for maybe about a year. Right. Let's just say. And he could be roughly on that level. And I still want to put him on God level, but I definitely will make him twice or 5 or maybe even 10 times as strong as he is originally. That's what I would do. Or just make him as strong as the one he was in GT. And I don't mean Super 17. I mean the one where he was fighting Vegeta at Super Saiyan level 2. He was on par with him.
Next, Android 18, I believe. Is she on par? Who is she on par with? Because I was trying to figure out is she on Android 17's level? Is she
she's definitely not on his level. She's on par with what Android 17 was on GT before it became Super 17, I would say, where she's she definitely got stronger. Where she's probably where they got Krillin at right now and stuff, maybe a little stronger because she has that unlimited energy as well. But I would have did the same thing at 17. I would have just went ahead and unlocked that battery, made her stronger that way, and that would have been it. Because like I said, you're not going to recruit within the universe, even in the heavens. There's really no point. People start looking at that Picollo thing and everybody else. Let me explain something to you guys. Mind you, Picollo was the strongest person in heaven, right? And he took him 10,000 years of training in heaven to get that powerful. These guys on Earth are doing it in fucking less than half that time. Not even less than half that time. I'm saying like 1% of that time they're doing that, And Goku already kind of surpassed them at the end of that tournament, and forget about it. He couldn't keep up, and he's not going to be able to keep up. These guys are stronger than him, and they have the potential to get even stronger. Leave that be. He was the strongest one, and he was the strongest dead warrior, mind you. So you're not gonna find anybody stronger than Picollo in the dead universe, and everybody who's stronger than him is alive.
And I agree. I think 18 again. You got the two androids. They're strong. They're there. 18 has already been part of the mix anyway. She's been there. They kind of had to convince her by money, but she has the power and the potential to be a strong character or fighter in this team. And I think that's it for part 1. So part 2, just tune in to the next episode and we'll go over
Krillin, Master Roshi, and Tien.
And of course, we'll be also talking about Frieza and /Boo in another episode. But that's going to do it for part 1 of this episode. Don't forget to subscribe, comment. Who do you like so far of part 1 of this Team 7 discussion that we're having? And click on to part 2 so you can see us wrap up the rest of Team 7.